My fellow Australians, for many years, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have advocated for constitutional recognition through a voice. Our government, along with every single state and territory government, has committed to it. Legal experts have endorsed it. People on all sides of the parliament have backed it. Faith groups and sporting codes and local councils and businesses and unions have embraced it. An army of volunteers from every part of this great nation are throwing all of their energy behind it. Now, my fellow Australians, you can vote for it. The idea for a voice came from the people and it will be decided by the people. Today I announce that referendum day will be the 14th of October. On that day, every Australian will have a once-in-a-generation chance to bring our country together and to change it for the better. To vote for recognition, listening and better results. And I ask all Australians to vote yes. Now, referendums come around much less often than elections. This will be the first one this century, and they're very different because on October 14th, you are not being asked to vote for a political party or for a person. You're being asked to vote for an idea, to say yes to an idea whose time has come. To say yes to an invitation that comes directly from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people themselves, a proposal that thousands of elders and leaders and communities all over our country have worked on for well over a decade. A change supported by more than 80% of Indigenous Australians. Constitutional recognition through a voice, a way for all of us to recognise Indigenous Australians and their history in our Constitution, and a form of recognition that will importantly make a positive difference to their lives and their futures. A practical way of dealing with issues that, despite all of the good intentions in this world, no Australian government has been able to get right before. The Voice will be a committee of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, local representatives from every state and territory, the regions, remote communities, as well as the Torres Strait Islands. A committee of Indigenous Australians, chosen by Indigenous Australians, giving advice to government so that we can get better results for Indigenous Australians. The Voice is about advice. The Parliament and government that Australians vote for in the normal way every 3 years will still be responsible for decisions and laws and funding, just as it always has been. With a voice, though, we will be able to hear directly from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities about the challenges they face in health and education, in jobs and housing. And we'll be able to learn about the things that are working in local areas so we can replicate them and make them work right around the country. Learning from communities in Arnhem Land, where the parents and teachers cooperate to make sure children are going to school and aiming high. Or the health services employing Indigenous nurses to deliver health checks and immunisations in remote communities. Or Indigenous rangers caring for our environment with knowledge built up over tens of thousands of years. There are local success stories out there. Just imagine the progress we could make with a voice connecting the regions with the nation. And giving locals a say, of course, means that we save money too, because we'll be making sure the funding actually reaches the people on the ground.